Hello, I'm Jennifer, and this is my Melinated Toys YouTube. Welcome, and this particular video is talking about why I created an adult toy store called Melinated Toys. So happy to have you. Please comment, like, subscribe, do all those good things. And I'm just going to tell this story. It's such a long one, and I'm a little nervous about being incredibly long-winded. I tend to ramble. I am my father's daughter, if you know him. So let's just start the story. All right. So I am a part of a Patreon group for Larry Reid. Yes, Larry Reid Live. And in the beginning of, the Patreon movement that he started, he had a lot of people doing just helpful stuff like looking into meditation and talking to somebody about, stocks and stuff, buying houses, all that good stuff. He still does that. And but the one that is the closest to me is the time that he had somebody talking about meditation. I had so many questions, exactly like, what is meditation? How does that look in like a Christian space? Because I do love Jesus Christ. So I just wanted to understand, what does that look like? Because I've heard so many things, the church likes to push away things that we don't totally understand, and I'm in a space of really opening my mind up to more opportunities to connect to the Lord. And meditation is one of the things that I was really trying to find out about at this time. And this was like I believe 2 years. My husband Tyrone, he's good with dates and time and stuff like that. I hope that he places it somewhere around here so I can be corrected if I need to be. Anywho, so I was feeling like my voice did not matter, feeling like I wasn't being heard, and I shared that within that Zoom conversation about meditation. And the advice that was given by the expert as well as Larry Reid was to, basically lay hands on my throat chakra and just, how should I say? He said, bring voice to my meditation. So I was laying hands on my throat chakra and I was just saying, not saying a particular mantra or anything. I was just bringing sound through my vocal cords. And as I was continuing to do that, I certainly felt the difference, and it didn't take long for me to start releasing more and more and feel more confident about speaking out. So on the next Zoom that he had, it was about a sex tape. And at that time, he started to ask questions and stuff like that and bringing people onto the Zoom just to have a conversation or whatever. So when I got on and we were talking about this sex tape, I said, I watched it like with one eye closed and, just trying to, not really look too much at anything, because I was in a space of trying to wean myself off of pornography, not for the reasons maybe you may think. I wasn't feeling convicted about watching pornography. It was more, I needed to find intimacy with my husband. That's something that we'll talk about in the future. Anywho, so I was like, I just wanted to chill that out a little bit. And Larry Reid was like, you watch porn? I was like, yeah, I was, doing a lot of that. And that apparently really got him, curious about like what kind I was watching and everything. We'll talk about that later. What kind I was watching and how often and all that stuff. And we just had the conversation. It was fun. And, it was great. It felt like a safe space to say all those things. So I did. And months and months later on, talking to a friend of mine, Joseph, and his daughter just so happened to ask him a question. Apparently they have an open avenue of conversation about any and everything, right? So she asked her father if having sexual relations with a goat will keep you as being a virgin. And I was like, no, because you had sex. The word sex was in there. You had sex with a goat. That's bestiality. You still having sex. So no, you're not a virgin. And I started to talk about, other things that you could be doing other than having sex with animals. There's fleshlights, there's different strokers that people can use. And apparently Joseph and my husband, we were all talking at the same time. They were confused as to what a fleshlight wasn't too familiar with the strokers. So I'm over here sending videos and pictures to them like, this is what I'm talking about. And I was being referred to as the sex expert. And I'm like, I just talk about it. I'm expert? Like, I don't know about that. But it sparked something. And Joseph was like, maybe you need your own sex toy store. You need your own adult toy store. And I was like, okay. But one thing I can say is that the creativity started flowing from there. And I had this whole vision quickly of exactly how it needed to look and the space that I was trying to create. If you go on Melinated Toys store or go to MelinatedToys.com, you'll see basically my brainchild. One thing I've always noticed when I shop for sex toys or anything like that, I would always see everything just stark white, a bunch of pinks, a bunch of, nudity and stuff. I mean, you are shopping for sex toys, but I mean, some people are uncomfortable with that. Some people don't know how they feel about walking into those spaces or even being in a space like that on their internets or whatever. So I wanted to create just a peaceful space, nothing too raunchy, dark colors, peaceful colors, feeling real nature-like, you know what I'm saying? And with the melanated toys, me being a melanated woman, these are my toys. And I spent hours upon hours, even on work days, having to wake up in the morning to go to work, but I was still up to about like 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning selecting items for my store. And I'm just so proud of it. Put so much work into it. Of course I'm proud, right? And the toys, I wanted them to have a full wide range, anywhere from beginner toys all the way up to the stuff that costs hundreds of dollars, from position mates, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that some people didn't know that even exists, position pillows, things like that. Like let me tell you this. The reason why I know so much or have so much knowledge is because a lot of time back at home in South Carolina, I did a whole lot of working of second shifts. And when you work second shift, you're getting off of work around 10, 1 o'clock in the morning, all throughout those times. Sometimes you're just up afterwards, you know what I'm saying? And I would find things to do after work because nobody else was up and I had a whole lot of time to myself. So what I did, either I was going to Walmart or I was going to a sex shop, and every once in a while I would take some co-workers with me. We just look at stuff, and of course when you delve into things you start to learn more about it. And then going online, I just always felt like there's such a stigma walking into those stores or looking at it online. It's like you kind of feel uncomfortable, but of course I got over that quickly because I think it's just my curiosity. My curiosity, I can't say it got the best of me. I just want to know, dagnabbit. And the more you find out, the more that you can help yourself. So that's how I found out so much about the sex toys. And the reason why I created the store is just to create a space, a safe space for people that are new to sex toys, people that want to, find out more about them, which is why I have the YouTube here, this space. And, that's why I have, this nice little thing here. I just want to keep it real, peaceful, and serene, and just to have these conversations. Some people don't even feel comfortable talking about sex, and they're having the worst time having sex. Some people really need therapy around that. Shoot, one day I'll be able to do it. Not now. I'm not an expert just yet. But one day I'll be able to do it, because one thing that we continue to forget is that sex is certainly a part of our makeup. It's a part of our bodies. It's something that is needed. And if we're not talking about it, it's not getting better. If we're experiencing things that seem odd and we just keep those things to ourselves, how are we supposed to find solutions? So, I created a space. Here we are. If you want to ask questions, if I don't even know the answer to it, I'll research just for you. And you can be anonymous if you'd like. I would want to bring these questions to the Melinated Toys YouTube so that we can all learn together. Some people, of course, when you ask questions, somebody's going to have the same question as you. So we share with the group, we share with the family. You don't have to subscribe to anything that I have. You don't have to be on our Melinated Toys store. You don't have to like it or whatever. You don't have to have people to know what's going on as far as you and your sex life. We can certainly keep everything anonymous over here. Eventually, I will be taking phone calls just so we can have more conversation. And like I said, you can always be anonymous. So I want to have these conversations so that we can all learn. I just want us to learn, be in a learning space. So currently, I do have a friend of mine. She's actually trying out some toys right now. Okay, maybe not like right at this moment. Don't dig too deep into that. Anyway, and we actually are going to come on video and talk about that. So we're going to talk about the experience and how it happened for her. Of course, I'm hoping to get a lot of experiences with different toys from other people, because not all of our bodies are the same. So what one person may feel with a particular toy, the other person may not. So I want to have multiple experiences. If you see a toy that we feature here on the Melinated Toys YouTube, I want you to feel free to say, hey, I tried that too, and this is how it made me feel. So, of course, we're not only working with female toys geared towards females, but of course to males. And I just want everybody to receive their own prophetic release. Oh gosh, because I am a woman. It took me a very long time to have a vaginal orgasm. And the only reason that happens is because my husband did his homework. So, on this channel, I just want to help everybody have better sex. This feels so weird. But I want you to join me on this journey. And I thank you for watching, staying so long to hear this story. If you want to hear more about the story, have questions, of course, like I said, you can send that question into AskJennifer@MelinatedToys.com, and I will get to it. And more than likely, I will make a video of it. If you don't want to have your name out there, if you would like to remain anonymous, just let me know, and you won't have to worry about hearing your name attached to a letter that you sent to me. And I think that's all. Yes, if you have more questions, let me know. I'll make a video, I'll answer them. And anybody in the comments, let me know how you feel about this journey that I've been on. And of course, I'll be checking, making sure that I see the comments. and I'll be responding, of course. I'll be all up in there. But that's all that I have to say, I think. Well, if there's anything else, I'll let you know. Thank you so much for joining me. And just remember, if we're not talking about it, the sex won't be getting better. Bye.